MARZ live stream. As you can see, I am alone, but not alone today. We have Corey here as well. Well, he told me his name was Corey, but we might have to debate that. We'll see. Anyways, we're here for part 2. We're going to be working in Blender today, continuing our little animation that we started talking about last week. And yeah, I was just trying to get set up and download a bunch of different models and stuff, but I didn't get as far as I wanted to. So we're going to be kind of working through this as we go and seeing what we want to do for this animation. So those of you that weren't here last week, we listened to one of Corey's tracks, and let me just download that here, speaking of which, get that ready to go, and we're going to make an animated music video out of this track. So let me make sure that you guys can hear my computer before I start trying to play this. And let's see here. Download that. Okay. So I need a third monitor here. Let me check and see if y'all can hear my system sound. Hey, I think that's coming through. Yes, it sure is. Okay, here we go. Let's listen to this through real quick. At least the first part, because that's kind of what is really going to set our scene, I feel like. Sort of establish where we're at. And I have a few ideas. I was thinking about creating and using this model here. Let me switch to this one here. So this is a model that I've had, that I've done some animations with previously. Those of you that are longtime viewers will remember this kind of low resolution or low poly version of Corey here. So I figured, since we're making a music video out of one of Corey's songs, Corey should be in the music video with all his video game friends that he's sent us links to download. So here's the track, by the way. Let's see if I'll get this to open here. It's not too loud. There we go. You don't need to see that. So I'm going to pause it there because I want to focus on this first like 40 seconds. And that's a lot of animation. So in that time, we should really be able to establish the whole story. So I'm kind of thinking here, I have also this model of the studio. So this was something that I had used when kind of developing the idea for the computer lab that we built last summer. And so it kind of has like, it's sort of a set. Not everything is here, so I may have to like add in some things. Obviously you can see, those of you that have been in the studio before know that there's like the recording booth over here, and then more of the music studio on this side, and then of course you have the stage and the control booth here. So I thought it would be fun to use this as our setting for the music video, or at least in the intro, and make it a little bit meta, where Corey is maybe on a live stream listening to this song, or like it shows, you know, we'll think about it as we go. But I figured that I kind of set this up where we can have sort of use this as our backdrop. So we may have to build a few things. I'm gonna actually make this wider focal length. So those of you that aren't aware, if you in your view was feeling a little bit claustrophobic because a 50mm lens is actually a pretty this replicates a real camera lens, and 50mm is actually kind of a pretty decent zoom. So taking this back to about 35 is nice on the view. You can, this is just for the viewport, the viewport, not for like any cameras or anything. You set those all independently, but that gives us makes it a little easier to see. So you can fly around here. Of course, we're missing like the table and stuff that's usually over here. This feels a bit small to me too. The scale I think is a little bit off, but I wasn't too worried about it. Just, it was more for, you know, getting a visual across. So it does feel a little bit small, but I don't know. Anyways, so I figured we might use that, and we might go around and look and see what else we can find. I'm picturing, like I said, having kind of an intro where the scene is set up with Corey working on something, and then having characters like come into the studio while he's working on this track, and it turns into like a full-on dance party. So let's see what we can do. First things first, I want to start like bringing in some other assets, and I need to, so I'm going to save this out. And I think we made a new folder for this on our desktop, the music video. So I'm gonna just make this the studio. This will be, I think, our main track, so our main like project. So just for the sake of keeping it simple, I'll add that. And then I want to sort of put everything here. It looks like most of it is in a collection. Okay, and the lights, sweet. So collections are nice because I can hide and unhide things if I need to. So I'll put that, the room, it looks like I had these separated. Okay, cool. And then I could start importing things, or we can go and look and see what character. I think I'm gonna have to bring in some characters. I'm trying to think. I'm going to be using a lot of basic like Mixamo animations like we talked about last time, and the problem that I might run into with that is that once you bring in like a Mixamo rig, it's very challenging to animate that. I think last time we looked, we actually demoed that. So let me open that up again. Music video. Do we have, or maybe not, but just for, I thought maybe we exported it, maybe I put it in my downloads folder. Oh yeah, I did. So I've got this like the Sebulba, the character from Star Wars that we downloaded last week, and we attached an animation. So I think it just went into my downloads folder, and it was this hip hop dance. So if we import that, you can actually see and test the scale as well, because it's probably going to be either tiny or way too large. I don't even know where he's at. Oh yeah, it's very tiny. So that's one thing with animations, is that we'll definitely have to, but now that should be better. We'll just stick them right there for now, but that should just work. So we could do that with all of the Mixamo animations, and I may actually do that for most of the characters, because it would take forever to hand animate all this, because I think we're going to have quite a few characters in here. So I may do some or most of the stuff with the Corey model by hand, but then have, like when we do the dancing animations, if we want them to sync, we'll probably just add them into Mixamo and have Mixamo do the rig and everything, so that there's no like having to convert back and forth to different rigs and like do what's called retargeting. It's really kind of a pain, and I don't want to particularly get into it right now, but so we'll show you how to do multiple ways. So let's start by actually setting up this scene here. We'll leave this character here. I do need to add, I want to bring in and make like the table and stuff that's usually out here. So I may just hide this stuff for now. Probably want to put all the characters into their own collection and stuff. Really try to keep it organized, because it's going to be quite the mess. So let's see. Especially with multiple character rigs, you definitely want to be smart about how you organize your scenes. So let me just make sure everything's working fine. Looks like it. Cool, okay. So let me bring in, just for scale reference, I know that the Corey model is to scale, or at least should be. I'm pretty sure I made it to scale. Do I want to, let me see here. Okay, yeah. Let's name this, oops. I'll just put him in his own collection. It's to 1L. Oh, I forget you gotta like, oh, come on. There we go, okay. Now I can hide that. And so we'll make a characters folder later as well, but we can write this first off, import Corey. So I want to do append, and I want to find my, I like that Blender does this now, it has a little like preview. That's a newer thing. I want to find, I just saved it as a desktop, yeah. So I like to import collections, so I made this full body collection, and then, okay, cool. So that should be to scale. The nice thing, if you ever need like a scale reference in your scene, if you have, I don't know why my add-ons don't apply for some reason. This is the third time I've done this today. Rigify, and I always save preferences, but it doesn't seem to want to do that. But anyways, if you add a armature and you have Rigify on, you can add the basic human, and that is to scale, like about a, we add a box in here. A box is, my scale is messed up. Maybe this scene has a different scale. It's not too big of a deal, but we can just scale things up to match. If I can remember where the scale is. Units, yeah. Yeah, it is changed to feet and stuff. Typically it's not set that way, but that's okay. I think that's why the box is small, because it's actually now a 2-foot by 2-foot box or something like that. I must have changed it while I was building that scene. So we may want to re-import this in a new like basic Blender scene, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. We're going to make it work. So we've got Corey in here. Let's turn the room on, and I'm just going to move the object here. I don't need this. Hide that. Turn that down. Okay. So he looks a little bit tall to me. So let's scale him down a little bit. Let's scale the overall thing and apply the scale. But it doesn't, oh, it does mess that up. We may have to actually scale this as well. Let's go see if a doorway's like, that should be probably pretty good. Just eyeballing it. It doesn't like that. Guess we don't need to apply the scale. It should still work. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's not worry about that. Okay, we've got Corey in here. Spin him around. So we're gonna turn this into like kind of a party scene. So I'm actually gonna, typically it's like over here. It's our normal setup. We have sort of switched to having the stage be this way. Well, we don't have our fancy curtains yet in here, so it's not quite set up like that, but we're gonna have it set up that way. That way we can transition into like into having the kind of a stage set up here with lights and stuff like that, and then we could do some funny things with the windows and stuff. This isn't actually my finished studio project now that I think about it. I might have to go and see if I can find the other map, because this one doesn't have all of the details over here, because there is actually one that has like paint on the walls and stuff like that, and it looks a little bit nicer. But this will work for now because the layout's the same. We can do our blocking and stuff like that in this project. So let's hop over to see what Corey sent us as far as characters go. I'm just going to collect a few of the characters and have them and bring them in so that they'll be ready. So one that I definitely know I want to get is the Redead from Zelda. So of course we're going to use the same, it's that same site. If it loads for me, we'll see. It's going kind of slow. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, so we've got the Redead. I figure this one would be pretty fun. So I can download that. And then we'll bring that into Mixamo. And we may want to, of course, sort out all of our files too. So let's get that set up. I'm going to okay, let's see. I've made just a folder over here for all our characters to go into. We'll make a characters collection as well. So a lot of this will just be sorting out things. Like I said, it's good to get into the habit of sorting all this. Otherwise, it will all end up in your downloads folder or whatever, and then you can lose things and delete stuff on accident. So this is going to be the folder with the Redead in it. I want to just extract all here. And then it's pretty simple. He's got one texture. That's cool. Nice. We can probably shorten this. Okay. Who else do we want to get? Let's see. We could actually, one nice thing though I just realized is that animations, if we have, let's try this. If we have Mixamo, let's get on the Mixamo real quick. We may not have to, I think we'll have to bring every model into Mixamo to get the auto rig thing to set up correctly. But once we have them rigged and the characters are all ready to go, we can actually transfer animation data and download any animation from Mixamo and just like attach it to the models that we have. So here we are. We've got Sabola back in here doing his dance. So let's do, though, a new character and find the Redead. So this is easy as just drag and dropping. Whoops, not that way. I didn't even know that. Huh. Chrome can apparently see OBJ files. Interesting. To be more accurate with our drag and drop here. Redid, there we go. And he doesn't have his textures on him. Interesting. So this is going to be a problem though because he's not in T-pose. I don't know if this is going to work. We may have to go and manually edit this. Wrists, elbows, knees. And he doesn't have any fingers. Yeah, we don't need fingers. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to try. It's probably going to, if a character is not actually in T-pose, when they're animated like this, you end up having, what does it sound like I have? When they're animated like this, and you'll probably see, it's going to look like he's, oh yeah. Oh, wait, maybe. Huh. Oh, hey. Okay, that actually worked. I guess they don't need to be in T-pose. Okay, that's awesome. So, just because we can, let's grab another. That's actually a pretty great animation on him. I'm sad that the textures didn't come in, but that's okay. We can attach them in Blender. But it's jogging. Oh man, this is good. What else we got here? There's a lot of pages of stuff. We can do, okay, there's a lot of dancing ones. Definitely gonna have some dance. Oh man. Oh, these are great. Okay. This is appropriate. Oh, I love it. Oh, and I could just do this all day. So anyways, let's download this and get it into Blender. So I want to download it with skin. So the skin is the model, of course. And frame rate is fine. We can do a little bit of keyframe reduction. Where's he going? Oh man. Okay. It's gonna look so much better with the textures on them too. Okay, downloaded that. Let's just like real quick throw this into the Redid folder. So we'll see if we can. We should be able to easily just transfer the different animations to all of the Mixmo rigged characters. I think. I'm pretty sure. We'll try it out here. So let us import FBX, and now I have it on the desktop. There's a Redid, and yes, everything looks good there. Okay, cool. There he is. So he's like more to scale. Okay, perfect. Let's move him over here. Oops, I want to move that. Sometimes it's easier, especially when you have walls, to do it in. Is he right size? He seems a little bit big. Let's shrink him down a little bit. There we go. Did that stay? Okay, cool. Okay, let's add in his material. So this is pretty easy. They should already have. Oh no, I guess he doesn't. So let's just add a new material. And this is we can just name this the Redid. And then for base color, we just want to, you can just click this little yellow dot right here and add in a image texture, open, go to the desktop where I've got it saved, Redid, there's a texture, open, there we go. I don't know why he has like a little diaper on, but what's the deal with that, dude? Oh, What in the world? What is happening with you? Oh, he's two separate pieces there for some reason. I don't know why that is, but we should be able to just add that in there. There we go. Cool. And maybe make him a little less shiny. So just come down into the roughness, and if you bring it up or down, bringing it up will make him less rough, or more rough, I guess I should say. Yeah, it's more rough and less rough. And then probably bring the specular down a little bit too. Oh wait, it's not. It's kind of a very matte color, but there we go. Oh man, perfect. It's exactly what I was looking for. Now we got the dance party started here. So we should be able to actually sync them up. If this works the way I think it does, and I may be wrong, but if we go into our action editor, I think maybe because they're different, like the skeleton is actually different, different size, and they're rigged a little bit different because that process that we went through when we put them through the auto rig tool is custom to their shape. So this may not work. But what you can do, if you have characters that have the same exact skeleton, you can usually just assign them the same animation. So what I'm trying to do here is go into the dope sheet and the action editor. And so here we should get a drop down of the different animations. So these we can actually probably should rename, but yeah, that did not work. Where did he go? Yeah, so we may have to like go through the process of that did not work, of making sure we export them with the right animation so that they all match up. But for the most part, that's a good start. So let's see, who else do we want to get in here? We'll probably give Corey these animations as well. Oh man, that's pretty great. So if you want to make this loop, as you can tell, he'll stop animating after a certain point. We can do that a few different ways, but probably the easiest is actually just using the NLA editor, and you can go into the side menu here, and there is I believe, I may have just passed it, blend it in out. You can make this cycle. Is that the right button? No. Or was it? Modifiers. I'm blanking. Oh, there it is. Repeat. Gosh, couldn't see it. 4. Then he'll just loop that animation. I don't actually think this is a looping. Oh no, it is. Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. Nice. Sweet. So just for the sake of doing it, we can make this a little bit longer. Oops. No, not that. No. Oh, Blender. 3D viewport. I just want another. There we go. I like to have my timeline up. I wish that there's honestly room for this in all these editors, but they don't put the like play and pause and stop stuff in there. So I like to have that up there just so I can change stuff easily. The Thriller dance is pretty long, so he's going to be dancing for a while. Great. Okay, perfect. So there's a start. Let's get another character in here. Let's do at least 3 to start with, and then we'll go and add some, or make some props. Let's see, who else did he send me? Captain Falcon. Be interesting. or Gex. There's also a Squirtle. Happy Mask Salesman would probably be funny, but I don't want it to be like all Zelda. Otherwise, I'm going to end up making just a Zelda dance video, and I want to avoid that. Maybe that will be another project. So let's do Captain Falcon just because that's pretty random. Although now we have 2 racers. We could have made a racing video. I think he might actually come with his car too. My goodness. Let's get that one. Okay. Let me make a new folder for him. Characters. Captain Falcon. New folder. So it would be cool to have these all synced. I may have to have these also have Rigify rigs as well. Just because I'm probably going to want to end up doing some custom stuff. And so this is the problem with the Mixamo rigs is like I can pose these if I want to. It's just not as easy as, you know, the Rigify stuff and just having the IK bones and everything like that. So it would be a lot more effort to animate them with these sort of, whoops, he's a bunch of different pieces as well. Hello, object mode. There you go. Animating like this and like having to, I mean, they can look okay. It's just not the easiest way, and definitely not something I want to do for like a long form project. So I may end up having to like rig each of these characters individually, and I may do that off stream because it's going to be a lot of doing the same thing, and that's not very entertaining. So we've got Captain Falcon here. Let me put him in his folder. Oh, come on. Characters, so here's his folder. We'll export him there. Let's see what his textures and stuff look like. Oh yeah, and it comes with, I think, he's got really interesting textures and different faces too. I like that. I like that. That's cool. This is kind of weird. Okay, so I don't know what these are. Oh, it's the different colors. That's cool. So you could just have a bunch of different colored Captain Falcon dancing around. That would be interesting. But I feel like some of these we'd need like to just use F-Zero sound bites in a remix, or like I was telling Corey we should do one out of the Redead noises that they make from all the games or something, and then we could really have like just a bunch of Redeads dancing in Castletown or something like that. It'd be pretty funny. So let's see what Captain Falcon looks like in Mixamo. Everybody's going to be in Mixamo now. Still got the Redead dancing in here. So upload character. Like I said, Mixamo is, if you have, you can make a Adobe account, and he has his car. That's not gonna work. All right, time to edit one. Let's open up a new Blender file here. I'll show you how we can do this. All right, Blender, let's go. Okay, so delete everything, file and import. And this time I want to import an OBJ file, desktop, back to music video, characters, and Falcon. export that. Okay, so yeah, we have a problem here, and that is that it looks like he is all one object. Okay, so let us fix that. And these are all separated. Great. Lovely. This one's going to be a little bit more effort than I thought, but these game models are always like really weirdly built for the time. So I'm just going to select as many pieces as I can without deleting anything off the main character. These are all marked sharp. That's what these blue lines are. So when you shade this in the viewport, I wonder if it's gonna have textures. Oops. Oh yeah, that did work. What is going on? There we go. Sweet. They're like that so that all of these corners are sharp. We don't necessarily need that. I can remember what clear sharp. There we go. Because Blender you can automatically set to shade flat, and that will give you the same result. I'm not sure why exactly it's like that. I don't know where that data comes from, if it's just something stored for the game or what. But I mean, I doubt these. I mean, these are definitely models ripped from games, but not sure what the method is of actually obtaining them. Let's actually, while we're here as well, put them in a T-pose. Not necessary. We learned that that was actually, it worked fine with the redead, but probably worth doing. And this is going to give us some issues because he's not actually symmetrical. That's okay. We will do it manually. So you can actually set a custom pivot point if you use your 3D cursor as a pivot point. I think OBS is getting upset with me because I have too many things in Blender open. I don't know, but hopefully I'm still connected. Looks like it. Okay. You just have to do this manually. I think that will work. Cool. And rotate. Oops. Rotate that. This is going to be kind of weird though, because he's got this. I may just want to keep him more in an A pose. Kind of try to get it as close as I can. That's probably good enough. Yeah, let's call that good. So we can just go to File, Export, and let's just export it in FBX. Since we're working mostly in that format, go back to his folder. And this is, they were just our Captain Falcon CF. Export, and then back to XML, upload a character. Let's look at his folder here. Where did it go? File, export, FBX. Oh, whoops. I'll put it in the base folder. There we go. Looking in the wrong folder. Okay, so this should work, and I think this will actually bring in the texture. Nope, it did not. That's okay. So chin, wrists. Is it just me, or is he backwards? Well, maybe not. I don't think he is. And then we don't need any fingers. Okay. No, he wasn't backwards. Hard to tell when they're all just like a bunch of squares. See how this does. Then we'll go build some new models for our scene here. I want to at least have the desk, and I think I might need to do some like speakers. Sweet. Gosh, this works so well. Let's give them the same text or the same animation that the Redid has. So download, same stuff. Throw this back in here, and I might actually name this Falcon. This is the thriller dance. Okay, that way we know what's what. Okay, we don't need this really, but I should save it just because we're going to be creating each of these, giving each of these a Rigify rig too. We probably want to save out blend files for each of them. Okay, cool. Let's just bring that in. Let's import. I think you can actually just drag and drop, I believe. No, that does not work. Never mind. Works in Unreal, but not in this. Import FBX. Sorry, this one was a lot of busy work. This is stuff I could do off stream. I just kind of wanted to show you the workflow and sort of how I decided to sort things out. I may actually just do some blocking after this instead of creating materials. See, it's interesting. I guess it is just taking the scale of the model originally, so it's not, because the Redid was like a normal size, but he was not. So I feel like Captain Falcon would be like taller than Corey. I don't know how tall he is, but he's pretty tall. He came in with textures that time, although I think they're kind of messed up. Sure looks like they're messed up. I don't know what is happening with his face. Why doesn't he have a head? Oh no, he does. Wait, what's happening? I think that the thing we want to check is back face culling. No. No? I was just looking at it from a weird angle. Oops. Give me that. Okay. So these two, the Redid and Falcon, should be synced up. They sure are. Oh, what in the world? Looking at them through the window is like, makes them invisible? What is happening? I'll have to do some, I bet you it's probably the normals are just weird. I'm gonna hide the room real quick just so we can see what's happening here. Okay, we gotta get Sebulba the same dance moves. One thing I want to check is just that. That's weird. I could have swore I saved that, but I must have reapplied it. I definitely, let's do, whoops, Alt-N. This is recalculating the normals for the character, and I probably just want to turn off that clear the sharp. Don't really need it on. What is going on here? Definitely have an issue with our merge my distance. I don't know if that'll do anything. Nope. Well, it's not too big of a deal right now, but he's definitely like kind of see-through. I wonder if this is just the textures being weird or if it's actually, that's the one thing with these is like, it's hard to tell sometimes when they come into the program what has them Oh, why is the alpha set low? Huh. He does have like a billion materials, which is kind of a pain, so it's probably something to do with one of these. But just like going through, oh yeah, these are all set to, some of them are alpha. And I don't want alpha blend. I just want opaque. I don't think he has any. So this is all if you have like transparent materials. I don't know why they're all, one of these is messing up the view though. My goodness. Why? Lovely. Captain Falcon might be more of a pain in the butt than necessary, but it will work for now. But he's definitely see-through. I gotta figure out what one of these is doing that. But reapplying them will be a nightmare. So we may actually need to find another character. Unless I'll have to take some time to bring things together anyways. So we'll probably add a few more characters. So I want to listen to, let's check out the song one more time. I want to listen to this for a second. Just this first part and think about how this should start. I'm thinking doing sort of a slow pan into the space. Let me hide some of our friends here. Let's see, whose skeleton is that? Oh, that's just the meta rig. No, don't need that one. How many pieces Captain Falcon is in? We may actually remove him eventually, but that's good for now. And this is the Redead, so should I get all his pieces? So it's M for new collection. Redead. Okay. So what I'm thinking is kind of doing, let's show the room here, like a slow pan toward Corey sitting at the desk on his computer doing something, making this beat. So do I have a camera in this scene? I sure do. Let's move this camera over. I'm thinking something like a nice hero shot kind of thing going on. Although we're not outside, I think I can still make this look pretty epic. Maybe have the speakers on either side, like the PA speakers. Make it look like he's ready for a dance party. That's a good first shot. Let me just actually, just while I'm thinking about this, I'm gonna key these in. So if I have my camera selected, I don't know where it's at. Oh, it's in here. I'm going to bring that out of the room collection. There you go. Location rotation. Just key that in. I want to make sure this is actually set to, the first frame for that matter. But also, I don't want this to, I don't want this to move between shots. So what you can do is actually set this to constant, and that way if I say do another shot over here, it will not change until it hits that point. So that's nice. So you can kind of block out things. So since we're doing this, let's also add our music to the track. So video sequencer, you can just drop this in. I'm gonna actually put this in our music video folder. Staying organized. Oh. To close in VLC. There we go. Okay, let's bring that in. Okay, I was gonna put it on channel 1. Doesn't really need to be, but. And if you want to see the waveform, you can easily do that. Believe it's over here, yeah. And we can just turn off these other channels. I don't know why there's so many by default. I thought I could make this view easier to see. Oh, there we go. Pull that out. There we go. Okay. Cool. So you can kind of make some. What I want to do too is make some markers here. So if we listen to this, now we can hear it in Blender. You can kind of see where. Let me move that. Oh, it's upset because I need to bring this way out. It's gonna be a long animation. So really, I guess it doesn't really get into the. That's where we want it to really start. So I'm gonna make a marker there. So you can do this pretty easily on the, let's just bring the timeline up and zoom way out. Already at 2,000 frames. So with that noise, definitely want that to be a change in tone here. So I'm gonna mark that. So you can hit M on the keyboard to mark. I think you can do it in, yeah, you can do it in all these. And that should show up across all your timelines, no matter what you're doing. So up till that point, it's sort of the introduction to the song part. So there's sort of this like rise here that I want to do something with. Not sure what yet, but I'm gonna mark it. Let's see. So we've got this really kind of like, this is that slow kind of move in. Probably have to cut somewhere in there. That's getting a bit long. I do want to take note of the rhythm too, because if I cut on the music, it usually looks a little bit better. I think right when that, so somewhere right in there, this will be that panning, slow moving forward. And then something will change right here. Camera angle change, something like that. So let's bring that in just because I want to add a key here. So between these two, I should have. So there may be actually, so this one I want to be a linear, and now this will just be. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. There'll be a desk here and his computer and stuff. It's gonna be even be a dolly zoom. change angles, maybe do like a over the shoulder kind of thing, maybe from, or maybe a POV shot of like this MacBook with Ableton on it. It would be really funny. And then he looks up and sees something, and it's probably one of the characters. I'm thinking he sees, I don't know. I really like the Redead. I think he's pretty funny. Maybe just because he's nostalgic, but I want him to kind of be the... Let's listen to this. Might have Corey do like a screen capture of him playing this song in Ableton. That would be pretty funny. And get it where it's like the actual track being played. So changes again right there. So I'm gonna mark that. And I'm thinking that's in between here. I can go between frame, excuse me, and do like a POV kind of thing. I don't know. Then you'll really be able to tell it's the studio. I'll have to do more work on the studio and have it like more looking like it does. I'm thinking a POV shot would be interesting. And just like, oops, I forgot to key that in. No. Remember to key in your stuff. Sometimes I gotta slow down so I can get... One cool thing with the auto keys, if you play, of course, if I remember to actually key in, this will actually do it for me, so I won't have to remember. But if you play your animation and then move the camera around, you can actually key in that movement, so it's kind of fun. It's a great way to block out things really quick. So if we just hit play, go into walk navigation. So now that will that's keyed in. And you can go in and like get rid of some of these. So wherever the main, there's sort of that motion between there and there. And kind of emulate that without having to need all these keyframes. Overkill. And look that way, and then kind of look down. Yeah. Something. Cool. Well, it looks like I'm out of time. I just realized it was 6 o'clock, so I'm gonna keep working on this. Probably do some work at home and come back with something tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week, next Friday, and have kind of a better sort of starting template. But so far, you've kind of seen like my thought process. Takes a little bit, you know. This stuff always takes time. It's not always fun to watch either, but kind of give you an idea of how I would do it. How I'm sort of starting out with it, and I may just do some work at home and then come back with sort of a rough outline of the whole thing, or at least the beginning of it. So then walk you through that. But cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining me, and we'll see you all next week.